Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com. I think this is the biggest thing that's happened at the RNC so far. Now, Trump's going to give a speech tomorrow night. That'll probably be bigger, but this is a big deal. And what does it signal? It signals that the Democratic Party is completely losing workers. So the people who used to vote Democrat aren't anymore. Now the Democratic Party, just like Chuck Schumer said, for every blue-collar worker we lose, we're going to pick up another one in the suburbs, a white-collar worker. So now they become the party of Wall Street. They become the party of the military-industrial complex, Silicon Valley, and white-collar suburbanites. That's the Democratic Party. They're letting the Republicans take, and J.D. Vance is got a better record than Joe Biden for sure. Did you ever think you'd see this at the RNC? Sean O'Brien, general president of Teamsters. You know what I see? I see an American worker being taken for granted. Workers being sold out to... Oh, here's what he says. Let's listen.
I'm Sean O'Brien, general president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
Think about this. A union guy at the RNC. This would make Dick Cheney, Mitt Romney, George Bush puke. Here we go.
I'd like to give my peeps from the greatest state in the nation, Massachusetts, some props. What's up?
And they're cheering him.
First, I want to thank the hardworking Teamsters and union members here in Milwaukee who play vital roles in the building and operations of this convention. I also want to thank President Donald Trump for opening the RNC's doors to the Teamsters Union and inviting me to speak before you tonight. I travel all across this country and meet with my members every week. You know what I see? An American worker being taken for granted. Workers being sold out to big banks, big tech, corporates, and the elite. And I'm not the only one who sees this. Everyday families see it.
They're saying this at the Republican convention, that workers are being sold out to banks and big corporations and big tech. This is happening at the RNC.
The American people aren't stupid. They know the system is broken. We all know how Washington is run. Working people have no chance of winning this fight. That's why I'm here today. Because I refuse to keep doing the same things my predecessors did. Today, the Teamsters are here to say we are not beholden to anyone or any party. We will create an agenda and work with a bipartisan coalition ready to accomplish something real for the American worker. And I don't care about getting criticized. It's an honor to be the first Teamster in our 121-year history to address the Republican National Convention. Several months ago, I asked the RNC and the DNC for the opportunity to speak. To be frank, when President Trump invited me to speak at this convention, there was political unrest on the left and on the right. Hard to believe. Anti-union groups demanded the president rescind his invitation. The left called me a traitor. And this is precisely why it's so important for me to be here today. Think about this. Think about this. The Teamsters are doing something correct. If the extremes in both parties think I shouldn't be on this stage. President Trump had the backbone to open the doors to this Republican convention, and that's unprecedented. No other nominee in the race would have invited the Teamsters into this arena. Now, you can have whatever opinion you want, but one thing is clear. President Trump is a candidate who is not afraid of hearing from new, loud, and often critical voices. And I think we all can agree, whether people like him or they don't like him, in light of what happened to him on Saturday, he has proven to be one tough SOB.
So that's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. I didn't know they never had a Teamster speak at the convention before, Republicans. And that's, I think you see the party shifting. And Trump and Vance being open to having a union guy give speech and talk about how workers are being screwed over by banks and corporations. I think it's a big deal. I don't think you can minimize that. Especially when Joe Biden is screwing over banks. I mean, screwing over workers in favor of railroad barons and everybody else. And still won't talk about giving people health care or the private or public option. Now, Trump also, when he ran in 2016, said he's going to give everybody health care. He didn't. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. So.
And during COVID, Biden didn't even think to give us nationalized health care.
I know. And I want to show you this. So here, this will show you what is going on. So this is Fox interviewing the Teamster president. And then I'm going to show you MSNBC talking about J.D. Vance being the pick for vice president. Let's watch this.
J.D. Vance, the short time that we've worked together, I mean, he's been great on Teamster issues. He is supported, co-sponsored a...
So this is Fox News talking about Donald Trump's vice president pick, and I'm going to show you MSNBC talking about it.
J.D. Vance, the short time that we've worked together, I mean, he's been great on Teamster issues. He is supported, co-sponsored a airline manufacturing bill that addresses outsourcing of critical airline maintenance to China. He's also supported paid sick leave for our railroad workers. If you remember that situation a couple of years ago, where they weren't getting sick time, he stepped right up. He's also been very vocal and supportive of holding employers accountable who try and skirt their obligation under an independent contractor model known as DSP. So he's been right there on all our issues. We've publicly stated it. And look, at this day and age, there's nothing better than having a U.S. Marine represented as a vice president candidate.
So that's Fox News having got a union guy talking about how the vice president of the Republican Party stands with workers. What? So that's how the Fox News covered Trump's vice presidential pick. You want to see how the MSNBC covered it? They try here. Let's play it. Let's play it for you.
J.D. Vance, I think, widely considered to be the most radical choice.
So they got to make you. It's all fear, fear, fear. The Republicans are radical, crazy, radical. He's the most radical. Really? Oh yeah, because he was against the Ukraine war, right?
Does not signal that Trump is trying to soften any edges. And the only person who was more excited than J.D. Vance this afternoon was Vladimir Putin. They dropped balloons from the sky where Putin was hanging out this afternoon because J.D. Vance has even said he doesn't care what happens to Ukraine.
So Fox News is talking about issues with a union leader that are pertinent to workers. MSNBC is red baiting. MSNBC. So do you see how this flip is happening? This is why that's weird. You would think that the Democrats would be talking about issues about workers. No, they're red baiting. And you go over to Fox News and they're talking with a union leader talking about about issues that are pertinent to workers. So again, the left-right labels don't seem to mean anything, and I will. And again, I found this out watching Due Dissonance. They covered this, and that's where I got the idea to do it. And they made almost all the same arguments I'm making. But this is amazing. I think it's amazing. There was a Teamsters president speaking at the RNC, being invited, and I think that to watch how the way MSNBC and Fox News covered the vice presidential choice of Donald Trump is unbelievably telling. That there's been a flip in the parties, and the Democrats have just conceded workers. They're just not gonna. They just don't give a shit. They're going for the white collar suburban voter. Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com.